All right, I am here with the man himself, Gamer Tag VR. Look at him, look at that guy. And we started this thing like every year. We just like reconnect and talk about games. We both have strong opinions. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree. So it's always a fun conversation, and the audience tends to really enjoy it. So we're just gonna jump right into it. GT, what's going on, man?
So much stuff that, as we just spoke before, that I forgot what day of the week it is. Like, it's just been, which is great for VR, really. I mean, there's obviously just so much going on. So yeah, just very busy. What about yourself?
Busy is good. Busy is good.
Busy is good.
I've been crazy, man. I'm working on some stuff. Like, I didn't get around to like any gaming this week, which is driving me nuts. I'm working on some stuff that I can't talk about just yet. And there's plenty of news. There's plenty of stuff going on. It's wild.
Yeah.
I just got back from
when
AWE.
You say games? Oh, yeah. How was AWE?
AWE was good, man. That was, you know, my first time. I love the tech side. So, like, that's really good for me. That's right up my alley. And I just love socializing. So I love just talking to people in the industry. So for me, it's right up my alley.
It's quite revitalizing when you meet people. I mean, I'm really craving it this year because I haven't been to anything this year apart from Hitman. That was pretty cool. But what I mean is, like, when you meet VR developers and like VR content creators, things like that, it just gives you like a whole new thing of energy. So
it definitely renews your energy. It's great because this is like the only time in my life I interact with people with the same passion that I have.
Yeah.
So you just like, you thrive off of each other. So it just feels really good. And it, you know, like, as much as people, you love to crap on VR, when you're there, you feel like these people are so dumb. Yeah. So what's the biggest thing? What's the you know, the most pressing thing right now that, you know, you're working on, or you want to discuss, or what's on your brain?
I guess when you said about doing this, the newest thing, and I think the biggest thing, is probably the Xbox Quest.
Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's really interesting because I see, and I think because of the VR bubble, and I say VR bubble like we're in, obviously our socials are all built up from the people we follow, they follow us. So we always see like real VR people, and all those VR people, most of them don't really see the point of this. But for me personally, it's been traffic. It's just been VR news.
I'm 100% with you. I personally said, like, why now? And obviously it's a good deal for sure. And it's beneficial to everyone. Like, people who want a Quest can get a good bundle at a good price. You know, people who already have a Quest are reminded that, hey, you could use your Quest for much more than just, you know, VR. And then people who are completely outside, or console gamers, are being introduced to something. Now, there is the potential that you could confuse some of these people, but overall I see it as a positive. But for me personally, I wanted a little bit more. Like, I just wanted a little bit more investment from Microsoft. A little, like, hey, you know, just like a little commitment that we're going to work a little bit more in the future. Halo tease, like anything.
I was just going to say, there's no like Microsoft app in there that does anything different. And to me, that's the hardest thing to do, is to get anyone to get in a headset. And that's what this will do. Whether they stay, I'm not sure, you know, whether they get in there and they go, like you just said, like, oh, I can't play anything. I can't play my Xbox games in VR. Yeah. But there is no, that's the thing. A lot of people are saying that, but when you see the Logan, this is an Xbox, they're not actually lying. All the games are flat anyway. So you're just playing flat games on a virtual flat screen.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm 100% with you. It just comes down to, does it really move the needle? Does it really? Because I feel like people who are already interested in a Quest 3S got it. Just because there's a Xbox branded one, are we going to run out now? For some people, that limited edition makes them go, okay, I got to pull the trigger now. I've wanted to pull the trigger. This is a good bundle. You know, so maybe a little bit, but there's not much going on overall in VR. Not much to like hype people up and get them to jump in right now.
Yeah, and it looks cool. Like, it does look really cool.
I have one coming today. Yeah. I mean, it is sexy.
Yeah. How do you feel about, like, because I didn't realize, because I got my tracking number sent to me, and I then realized that they've already been shipped out to like lots of tech channels, and it kind of makes you think, like, I don't know really what I'm going to do with it now. Now I know that. You know?
I'm not sharing mine. I have a really good idea of what I want to do with mine, but I'm not sharing it. You guys are going to have to wait.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
What has been your 2025 game of the year?
Oh, man. Did you send me some questions that I should revise?
Yeah, well, it's okay. I sent some questions because, I sent some questions because I know when you're put on the spot, you're like, oh, there's a million.
I've got one. I think that purely for how nice it was to review was Ghost Town.
Yeah,
Quest.
It's top of my list too.
Really, I just loved it. Like just going in there, there was no jank. There was nothing.
Yeah.
There was like nothing really to report apart from it's a bit short. It was brilliant. Like I thought it was brilliant, and visually it's brilliant.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who would definitely take 5 hours of pristine polish and like good gameplay and story. I'm a big story guy, so I take 5 hours of that over like 100 hours of mediocre, because I don't have 100 free hours. I know some people, it's like it really comes down to bang for the buck, and I get that, but that's never been something that drives me, even when I didn't have much money.
Yeah, I get you. I get what you're saying.
But Ghost Town was impressive, man. A lot of times you forget you're on a quest in that game.
Yeah, I was going through some footage the other day, and you're just thinking, like, is that really... What annoys me is how we get such a massive, like, divide between the games sometimes. Like, that game was top tier graphically. I know it's a slow-paced game. Yep. There's no weapons. There's a lot of things that don't have to be considered. But still, visually, from a visual standpoint, and just that room, when you go and mess around with I was in there for like half an hour just playing with stuff. It was brilliant.
So like the thing is, when developers have like an immediate like path, they know the technology well, and they don't have to focus on things like physics. Physics kill the CPU. Like, it just murders the CPU. That's why like Blade and Sorcery Nomad kind of runs like dog shit. So when you like, or like Wander, they're pushing too many angles. You have physics-based combat. You have this puzzle system. You have top-notch graphics. When you try and stuff everything into the quest, it just can't do it. But when you scale back a little, like Red Matter 2 and Ghost Town, you get these brilliantly like beautiful titles.
Yeah, I feel really sorry for Wander on Quest, because in a way it's an amazing technical achievement. Yeah, and as you said, like the physics, everything's there really. I haven't been in there if they've updated it at all, but it was pretty rough.
Yeah, I mean, they have been making updates, and I did think the game was playable, but you gotta be like willing to put up with some jank for sure. And I still thought it was a good game, regardless.
It is a good game. It's a brilliant game, actually.
It's a brilliant game.
It's so clever. It's so clever.
It is absolutely brilliant game. But yeah, I said, when I covered the game, I said this is going to be an amazing Quest 4 title. That's what it is. It's just the Quest 3 just can't cut it. It's gonna be awesome on the Quest 4.
Well, I hope so. That'd be so cool, because I see so many people mention it. I did a little tweet talk about games that were like hyped and games that didn't turn out to be as good as they were. And when I kept seeing Wanderer, I was like, oh man, because personally I think that game's really special. But
and I agree with you. It is like when it originally released on PlayStation and PCVR, I was just like, oh, why is everybody getting hyped for this? I have low expectations. And then I got in and I'm like, oh, I'm a moron for waiting on this game. This is good. This is really good. And it's not my style. And if it's not my style and it sucks me in like that, it's really good.
Yeah. But when you say that, your style, do you mean like the puzzle element side of things?
Yeah, I'm a guy who gets easily frustrated. I need to keep moving. And, if I'm going to get so stuck in a puzzle, like I'm going to just want to rage quit.
Yeah. I feel you. There are some games, especially when you don't understand the puzzle ideas, like the mentality of
if it doesn't make sense,
developers are thinking. Yeah. I struggle with that sometimes too.
Yeah, but see, then like in Red Matter 2, I didn't expect to enjoy, and just like the environments, the beauty of it, the storytelling sucked me in, and it was enough to get me past any like hurdle in a puzzle that I was a little frustrated on. But that was the one game that I blasted through and didn't get stuck too often. I got stuck on something that wasn't a puzzle. And I spoke to the developers and they're like, what? And I'm just like, oh my God, we will change some things because we understand like we're misleading you. And they just never thought they'd mislead you in that point. I kept thinking I had to go to the wrong location, like fill my oxygen tank at one point, because there's a sign that shows like oxygen tank room that way. But it was just a random sign. And I'm taking it as a clue.
That's cool. Yeah.
So I was like, and they're like, no, you're going the wrong way. And I'm like, I would never think to go the way you know, like there's a sign. Anyway.
Yeah. I like that.
I loved it. I love that game. Even like the super hard puzzle at the end, I was able to push myself through.
Oh, dude, I can't even remember it now, but in that room, isn't it, with the desk and...
Yes, there's
got,
4 things you need to find.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I remember when I posted like a full playthrough, and like if you skip to the video, you see the wavelength for the views. Everyone just, so many are on the end.
Yep.
They're like,
I posted the same video when it came out on Quest. And it's the same thing. It's like, and the developers literally said, every time someone comes to us and says they're stuck, we send them your video.
No, that's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah. I mean, because I did the whole gameplay, so it was really good. Such a solid game. And like, I never do that. I never do a full gameplay, but I just hit record every time I turn on the game, and it worked out. So yeah, Game of the Year, definitely we're agreeing on Ghost Town. We've had some other surprises, though. Like, Arken Age was a nice little start to the year.
Beautiful.
I had low expectations, and mainly because VR never looks the same when you watch on flat screen, and when you're in VR, there's no depth on flat screen. So if you watch trailers, that game looks green on green. It looks bland. But you get in and you're like, oh shit, this is a pretty game.
It's a stunning game. Did you play it on PC and PSVR 2?
I played it on PlayStation VR2.
Yeah. Beautiful game. Really good. I think they've done such a great job with that. But again, you could definitely cheat certain bits. Yeah.
So let me ask you about, we'll talk about some more controversial games, not on the good side. First up, Civ 7.
Yeah, not honestly, I can't really talk about it too much because I've never really played one before. They're not really my style of games. All I know is the performance is pretty bad, and trying to even get into it, I kind of felt like the battle thing was weird, where if you were close up, really close in, it kind of looked really good, but you wanted to always see more of the battlefield, and when you did that, they just turned into little figurines.
Yep.
And I was a bit like, oh, that's a bit of a shame. And then I checked on PC, and it was obviously nothing like that.
Yeah.
It was,
yeah. So I was really impressed that a brand new game was able to come over to the Quest. That was the most intriguing aspect for me. And I feel like if you're someone who's interested in Civ 7 and has access to nothing else, it's a consideration. But the VR elements they added do not like add to the game at all. It would have been better if it really was, they said, screw the VR side and just like clone the game and make it flat screen pretty much. It would have been a better Civ 7 experience because that would have helped with the performance.
Again, never really played it before, but yeah, I just don't, sometimes I don't think those sort of top-down games are necessarily what I enjoy.
Well, same with City Skylines. Like, it was ugly. It was
on the Quest, man. It was hideous first, yeah.
It was ugly, and it was scaled down from, you know, the PC version. But again, like, there's so much CPU usage that you're just killing the CPU. Like, the thing wants to die, you know, when you're playing that.
I still have fun in that game, though. Like, unlike the other two I just mentioned, I actually have fun in Cities.
City, I did on, like, PlayStation VR, but I just couldn't. Yeah, on Quest.
It was tough on Quest.
Yeah.
It was tough on Quest.
I enjoyed Little Cities more. Because, like, that was mine. Like, I could just turn my brain off.
Yeah, I thought that's really cool on PSVR 2, where if you put your head up to the plane,
you can feel it bump into you. Yeah.
Little things like that. I really appreciate little things like that.
I heard you say that, so I went and tried it. And I was like, oh, cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just a really fun thing. Like, that shows to me that someone understands VR, and they're like, why doesn't it do that? It should do that. It's quite funny.
Yeah. But another one, so I don't know personally, I heard someone in my comments said that you did not enjoy Zombie Army VR.
It's interesting. Did I say I didn't enjoy it?
I will tell you. Sorry to cut you off. I'll just say someone in my comments said your impression of Zombie Army VR is night and day from GT's. And I was like, wow. I was like, because I wasn't super positive, but I said, this is fun. Like, I can get behind this. I can have fun with this. I can play this with my buddies. This is good. It's exactly what I expected. So to hear it's night and day different, I'm like, what, did GT take a piss on this? What is this?
No, I didn't take. I think, like, from memory, the first impressions were really good. Like when you did the first level,
yeah,
I was like, damn, this game's got like everything. Really, I'm quite happy with it. It was pretty fun in co-op. There was a boss.
Yep.
Everything after that for me was just.
It's just repetitive.
I said it in my review. Those 5 hours honestly felt like forever, dude. I was just like, I kept looking at my watch. I was like, I feel like I've been playing this game for fucking days. And I'm looking at it and I'm like, I've only done 5 hours, but it just felt like forever. And yeah, that was the only thing I marked it down on, really.
That's weird.
In comparison to, yeah, I think I gave it a buy recommendation just because of the co-op and because of the price. Like the price is pretty low. It's like $24.
Yeah.
Which to me, I'm like, cool. So with my money, that's 20 quid. I think if I wasn't making content, I would play it. I might get a bit bored of the single player, but I definitely have hours of fun in co-op. So that's where it was.
I mean, I played through the first segment, the first 3 levels or whatever it was, past that first boss in single player. Then I replayed it in co-op, and then I kept playing single player again. And, you know, I enjoyed each playthrough, but I'm like, all right, I'm gonna, unless they turn it, you know, start changing it up more, I'm gonna get bored. But that's exactly like what the other zombie army VRs are like. Unless you really connect it, or unless you want to play something that kind of gets mind numbing and just like the kill time with a buddy. Like if you like the kill time with a buddy, that's the type of game you could jump into like an hour a day for a month, and you know, just have fun killing zombies. So it's exactly what I expected. Just yeah. That's how I walked away. All right, so what is your most anticipated game coming out for the rest of the year?
Oh, probably right now, probably Thief.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Might be up there. Yeah,
I ran into Maze Theory at PAX East 2-3 years ago, whatever, and I was like, listen, you know, you guys make good games, you make solid games, but for the love of God, can you pick an IP that like I'm gonna resonate with? I'm like, I'm not British. I've never watched Peaky Blinders, even though I heard it's an amazing show. I never watched Doctor Who, even though I love sci-fi. Yeah. So I'm like, can you pick an IP? And they're like, we got you. They're like, we got you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, oh, what? And they're like, well, I can't tell you. But I'm like, so I've been waiting, and I've been like slowly trying to pull details out of them over the past 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. What a great, I mean, I can't wait for that series to come back.
How are you feeling about Deadpool?
I'm honestly not too sure. Like, it sounds pretty cool, but like, I don't know. It's not on my hype list at the moment. You know, I don't really, I can't really feel myself translating to playing it in VR for some reason when I watch the trailer. So I'm kind of just waiting to play it to work it out.
I'm with you on that. Gameplay is going to be paramount. You know, that's the top. Doesn't matter if the graphics are great, the writing's great. First and foremost, it's going to be gameplay, because every game is repetitive. I have decent hopes because of Twisted Pixel. They've done really good work.
Yes.
And now, you know, Meta's throwing some money, and they got an IP. So I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I hope they go down like the. I think it's clear from the Xbox Quest thing that people want customization. You know, they want, because you can get, obviously in VR, out of VR, you get custom controllers that go with games. Like Death Stranding 2's got an amazing DualShock. Like, it is so cool. And the only other one ever before that was with Titanfall on the Xbox. That had a custom controller that I thought was absolutely insane. So, like, with Quest, you don't really get anything like that. So I'm sure people would love like a Deadpool themed Quest. That'd be so cool.
It's my God of War PlayStation controller.
Nice. Yeah, nice, dude. Yeah. Things like that are cool. People love stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't think it's like enough to really drive the needle, but yes, there is the big fan. Like, you know, they also sell like the exclusive edition, whatever it is, a $100 version of the game, or at this point it's probably like a $150 version of the game. But yeah, I get it. Like, some of those, I don't know if it's always a decent investment, but what do I know? I'm just a dude on the internet.
That's what I'm saying. Like, with the Xbox thing, like, I don't use my Quest 3S, but I'm like, dude, this looks so cool. I don't know. The Xbox one, I just think it looks brilliant. And I love it going back to black. So
I constantly use my 3S, but only because, my name, I'm the bitch in the family. So when my whole family's playing, I take the 3S and I give everybody else a 3.
Nice.
Okay. I put the 3S on my daughter and she's like, this thing's uncomfortable. I'm like, shut up. And put it on my head. I'm like, here you go.
Yeah.
So I do.
She played you.
Yeah, she did. I have daughters. They're going to play me all the time. Yeah, I'm practically a fiddle. But, so I use it constantly and it's not that it's fine. But yeah, the 3 is better. We know. All right. So semi hyped for Deadpool, more hyped for Thief. I agree with you there. I do want to get into another topic. We could spend as little time on this as you'd like, but your PlayStation VR2 video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
All right. I'll be gentle. Because I know it's a sore spot for you.
It's not. I'm all right. I'm kind of all right.
You're over it?
I am. I'm over it. It was tough. It was tough because I think everyone, when you love something so much and everyone gets the opposite of what you're saying, like,
yeah.
I still felt what I said was true. That's how I felt. But literally through a video, I think I was like, I literally said, I'm never going to stop supporting it. Like, I love it. PSVR is the system that got me into VR. It means the world to me. And I think that's why I was so...
Yeah. And I know that's how you feel. And that's why, I said what I said.
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, dude. It's, I don't do it for like points. I'm just speaking my truth. My thing is, like, we had conversations on this. The internet it can be monstrous. It is filled with amazing people and people who genuinely care. And it's also filled with monsters. And I just learned to ignore those people. They're going to have that opinion no matter what. I also live in the gray most of the time. A lot of people are just all hype or all like bashing, and you probably do way better if you're on one extreme or the other. You do much better.
I agree with
that. And I live in the gray, so I hear it from both sides constantly. The Quest people say I shit on the Quest all the time. The PlayStation people say shit on the PlayStation. But at the same time, I get people going, why are you supporting PlayStation? They're done for. Why are you supporting Quest? Meta burns billions. I'm like, I'm just giving you like an overall state of what's going on. It's never 100% this, 100% that. It's always in the middle.
The truth is, you're in all the camps. Like, you're happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me as well. I like them all. So yeah, I guess. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, because everyone was like, oh, because Beat Saber isn't now supporting PSVR 2, that's why you made the video. They're so like wrong. That was just like 5%. Yep. It was the whole feeling of like the last year or more, really.
It was the final. It was the final like nail in the coffin for you, almost.
It was something that made me think, right, I need to talk about this. So,
well,
yeah, that's what happened. You got me thinking, man. Like, like the Batman. That was a peak moment for me last year. It really was. Yeah, that was amazing. Amazing.
I still talk to Ryan Payton as much as I can.
He's such a cool guy. Interesting development with Downpour as well. Yeah.
And I spoke to him. I spoke to him at AWE. So he's a great dude. He's very passionate. It's great to see. Yeah. I mean, that always brings us around to the full circle. The conversation that always comes up. The one that's been going on for 10 years. And what's the future of VR?
Hopefully Valve Decad's in it.
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I don't want to say there's no PSVR 3, but I mean, if I was a betting man, I reckon there might not be for the next gen for a little while. Quest 4 seems to be not next year after, which is a bit of a shame. So yeah, I don't really know. I mean, truth is, there's just surprise after surprise, really.
Yeah.
You can go through day by day thinking nothing's really happening, and then suddenly you're at your computer every day of the week because something is happening.
I mean, I expected 2025 to be a super slow year, and it just started off on fire. And we got tons of surprise, very solid games. We know their Ray-Ban Meta sales were quite good. And now they're working with Oakley and Prada. So, their product line will extend. We know their end goal is the next computing platform. That's what they're going for. So they want glasses that replace or work in tandem with your phone. Which I mean, obviously makes sense. You want a device that everyone's going to use, not just a subset of people. And you also got to get rid of the VR friction. A lot of people just won't put on a headset.
Yeah.
Like my wife's like, it leaves red marks on my face that don't go away all day. I'm not wearing it. So I'm just like, that goes away over time. What happened? Yeah. I get it. So I think that we're going to see a bigger shift towards like AR, mixed reality, and XR style devices. But I think overall, I think the whole industry grows together. I think there is, when you experience the magic of VR, a solid VR game, you're just like, nothing else in the world was like that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
exactly.
So as much as people will say VR is dead, it's never dead. It's never going away. It gives us something that we can't get anywhere else. It's just going to continue to have its ups and downs with some unexpected turns.
Yeah, I think now more than ever, like it's obviously, I think it is classed as a previously failed technology, but now, like they see it, all these companies, like the fact you've got an Apple Vision Pro out there, the fact that Apple are even involved, that's massive. Google, Samsung, who knows if Nintendo do something? They always try and do something new at some point.
Yeah,
you just don't know. That's the truth. I just don't know, but all I know is it's wicked and it's unbeatable, really. A gaming experience. And
I know like there's the people out there who are like, well, once you play VR, you can never play flat again. I find that to be complete and utter bullshit. I think
go on, I'll let you go. Go on.
No, I still enjoy all forms of gaming because they offer up different things. Like you still like the day I can get a full-fledged experience like God of War in VR, then maybe I'll say that. Maybe I'll say when I could get that storytelling and feel that involved and also not be that physically tired because, you couldn't play through some of those games in VR. At least I can at my age. Until I could get that, I'm still going to love my flat games because they give me a different type of experience I can't get anywhere else.
I love flat. Dude, I'm such a retro gamer. Like today, I was going to take today off, but then I had a lot of people asking me to try this terrible game on PlayStation. So this one's called Truck Simulator 25 VR American Driver.
Nice.
And honestly, dude, it is. It's
like,
it's going to be crap.
It's like the flight sim one that came out.
Yeah. Actually, I would say it's exactly the same developer. It is like the lowest resolution. There's no multiple camera angles. You've got mirrors. Sure, I'm glad the mirrors work, but they're so blurry. You can't see what you're doing. And the crazy thing is, all the missions are random that you pick on a map. And one of them I started, and the fucking end of it was right next to me on the left. Like where I put my trailer was there. I was like, what the? What? That's just lazy. That's just
backup
bonkers.
Simulator. Yeah.
You just literally drive around the block a few times and you drop off a trailer. It is very poor. It is very poor. And literally, I only made that video to stop people buying.
So you highly recommend it, is what you're saying? Everyone should go run top game.
Game of the year.
Like, I mean, I've been working with Kiwi for years now, and I'm like, I'm not gonna make a buck off Kiwi. And I'm like, then like the first video I had that popped off, I'm like, where's all this money coming from? And it's everyone's clicking this. So it's like there is some influence there for sure. Like you never really know. So I always tread carefully on that. If something is objectively broken, I'll hammer it. If something is subjective, I'll say, this is how I feel. It resonates with me. It might do dog shit for you. That's all I can really do. But if I play a game and it's broken and the performance is horrible and, the sound's cutting out or whatever, it's crashing.
I can't even remember them. I think Borderlands really excelled. Every single, I think, like option had a name I'd never seen before. It was quite amazing. When you go to the gym and you see someone doing something that you've never seen before, and you're like, and you watch them and you're like, I can't even figure out what that's doing for you. Like that's what it felt like when I went into that game. I was like, yeah.
Well, I turned on Borderlands when it came to PC, and I had the bug where it wasn't 3D.
Right.
Yeah. So it's like I can't play this. It was just like a panoramic screen. It wasn't like going into 3D. And I'm like, what is this shit?
Yeah.
And then I thought one of the best parts of Borderlands 2 was the fact that it's multiplayer and you rip that out. But yeah, we could be here forever. All right, so I guess, is there anything else you want to talk about before we call it? It's been an hour already, believe it or not.
That's it. Oh my God. What did you think of Alien Rogue Incursion? What was your take on it?
I enjoyed the PlayStation VR version. The Quest was just an ugly version of the same game. The Quest launched like 5 seconds in. You're seeing like tons of like a weird lighting effect or a lighting artifact. You were also seeing tons of jaggies, and I was like, oh my god, this is killing the immersion. So it was hard to play on the Quest. The PlayStation VR version I did genuinely enjoy. It does get a bit repetitive. It does get a little slow, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah. What was your I guess what's been the funnest game to finish? You know, what's been your game? I know we talked about Midnight Walk, and we also talked about Ghost Town.
Probably like, Ghost Town this year. Yeah. I mean, Ghost Town, I couldn't put down. Like anytime my kids shut up or there was nothing going on in the house, I put that headset on and kept playing.
Yeah, and also on my tweet yesterday, it's still going actually. I've seen Ghostbusters mentioned so much, and I can't remember if we've ever discussed Ghostbusters. When you think about brands and IPs, that could have been huge.
Exactly.
It could have been huge. And I'll just give you my take here quickly. I was just like, why am I shooting ghost fish? Where's Slimer at the time? Where was everything that I actually enjoyed about Ghostbusters? Apart from they really nailed the blasters, whatever they got home. They're called now the proton packs, and they really nailed that. But there was nothing else for me personally.
So like the first 30-minute intro, I was like, oh shit, this might be really good. Like they have you walking around the mansion, this little storyline, and then you're opened up into do online missions.
Wave shooter.
Yeah, now it's a wave shooter, and it's not that fun. And I was like, oh no. And then I remember people online were like, oh, this is woke Ghostbusters. Because they were like,
because of the characters.
Yeah.
You got like a rainbow person, and I can't remember. Again, why couldn't we just have the originals? You know, you got the IP.
I don't care, like, if the character customization allowed you to represent yourself with pink hair or this. I don't care. If people want to do that, they want to do that. It's cool. I don't care about that. I just care about actually playing something that's fun.
Yeah, I didn't get that. I remember.
I was pumped for that game. I thought there was so much potential with the IP, and it just.
What other IPs do you think we've had in VR? So I think some people forget we have actually had some big brands like Horizon, for example. I mean, what did you think of that? I loved Horizon apart from the amount of climbing.
Yeah, Horizon was really good. I will agree, too much climbing and not enough. Like, there's only a very few small areas where you have locomotion and combat. But stunning. That's when their reprojection was like at its worst, and still a stunning game.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
what about Contract? Have you played Star Wars Battlefront yet? The game in Contractors?
Yeah, I have played that. Yeah, we played that together actually forever ago.
Did we?
Yeah. I remember
recently, dude. It was so incredible. It was the best day of recording I've had this year. It was seriously fun.
We played it a long time ago, and we were just like messing around.
Steve Nose was there.
Yep, Steve was there. I think maybe that. Grumpy Dog was there. Buck was there.
Yeah. I haven't seen Buck for ages.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. But I mean, so I tried that. I'm just trying. I mean, Iron Man was good. I enjoyed Iron Man a lot. Yeah. You get a little grindy with the combat in the middle, but I enjoyed it a lot. Yeah. There's not many other IPs though.
What about you? When you asked me the future, like where do you see the future of VR? What do you see it as?
I mean, I think I kind of, went into that whole, we're going to shift more towards AR and mixed reality, XR. Indie's going to be covering the games for a while. I think we're 50-50 on whether Meta will continue to invest the same amount of money into like high quality VR games. I think we're 50-50. I've heard mixed things internally.
I've heard mixed things, and I think actually a lot of interest hangs on the Xbox thing. I think that's a really big deal for them. Even though it seems to have just come out of nowhere. Like we knew it was happening, obviously from like Kinect, I think it was last year. They hinted at it. I think they hinted it to other headsets as well.
They straight up said that they were doing a collaboration with Microsoft.
Yeah, I can honestly see
Yeah.
some people
Well,
really enjoying it.
I think that's going to be a major focus of the Deckard, because they did good with they did well with the Steam Deck for sure. There's definitely people who want an upgrade from their Index, me included. I think the Deckard has a lot of potential, but I think there's going to be a strong emphasis on player flat screen games with a screen attached to your face.
I think 3D though. Do you think they'll push like some?
I don't know. I think there's too many technical hurdles to making it 3D. I mean, if you remember, I don't know if you had any of those 3D screens back in the day.
Absolutely, I invested a lot.
I still have one right behind in this closet, and support was extremely mixed.
Yeah,
and when it's something you got to get people to buy in, like developers to buy in, especially buy in on an element that is niche, just doesn't happen.
I remember playing Motorstorm on PS3 with 3D screen, and they used it so two people could look at the same screen but seeing a different game.
Yeah, I remember
that. Was amazing. That's amazing, though.
It is pretty amazing. The problem is those active shutters. You had two problems. The active shutters would make people nauseous, or you would chop resolution in half if you had passive.
I was just going to say, so the resolution was a little bit low to keep the frame rate up.
Yeah.
So
because you're literally, what the screen's doing is literally cutting off half of the screen. Like you have blockers cutting off half the pixels, and I see one half of the pixels and you see the other half of the pixels, and that's how they did the passive ones. So passive cuts the resolution in half. The active ones actually blinked your eyes, which made people know it, because people don't buy into it.
No, and I think just VR just trounces 3D anyway.
Oh yeah. But I mean, if they could figure it out, because I remember like I played BioShock in 3D. I was like, oh shit, this is extra creepy. And then I went to play Dead Space, and the support was so terrible, I almost vomited. Like things were not rendering at the right depth, so the game wasn't supported. And like 30 seconds in, like right after I went through the menu, I was like, oh Jesus! I was like, oh no! And that's enough to get someone to never try it again.
I think my favorite 3D experience gaming was Shadow of the Colossus on PlayStation.
I could see that.
That's one of my favorite games. I was actually listening to the soundtrack this morning while walking the dog. Like, I love that game so much.
I listen to video game soundtracks pretty often too, because they're meant to vibe out. They're meant to like.
It's so good, and it got me thinking. I was like, oh man, I'd love to be able to remember a VR game because of the soundtrack.
I don't think any VR game soundtrack breaks into the mainstream yet, but I think every VR player would go, oh, those songs are from Beat Saber, like the original Beat Saber soundtrack. That's pretty much all I can think of. You know, like everyone will go, oh yeah, I know those songs.
See, Synth Riders is my favorite VR game because of the soundtrack. Have you ever played Vampirevania?
No.
Dude, that if you like Castlevania soundtrack, especially the one from like the anime that was on Netflix, get into Synth Riders and play Vampirevania on like second to hardest. I think you'll absolutely love it.
It was great catching up. Hope everything's well.
Yeah, it is, man. Thank you for asking. I hope everything's well with you as well. You look happy enough. You look healthy enough.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I mean, life has its ups and downs, but I'm doing pretty good. You know, I can't complain. It could always be worse. But on that note, I am going to end this. Okay. Our therapy session has come to an end. That'll be $500. You know, just you can Venmo me. And it's always good to talk to you, brother.
Yeah, you too.